Ah, the feel of the wind on his beard, the touch of a beautiful badger, and the soft thump 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 of Rod the RV's wheels on the old tarmac roads. We're back on day 8 with Lesley Stump as part of our 100-day Nomad adventure. Let's get into it. What kind of heathen keeps their chips in the fridge? Right, one last journey to the bookshop. Then we will finally leave West Point. Lesley's plan today is simple. Raid West Point, get some tasty grub, tinned goods preferably, and stock up on enough books to turn himself into the apocalypse Aristotle. Once more into the hallway of death. As he slices and dices his way through the crowds outside the Gigamart, Lesley realises he has already become distracted. The golden aisles of the shop beckon him forwards, treasures unknown on those mystical shelves, beans and chips and plonkies, maybe some fresh underwear tucked away in a corner, or a brand new plushie for the back of Rod. That is literally Abraham Lincoln the zombie. Let's try and sneak around the back, I think. Ah, just a few here. Jesus. John Wick. He's got a stack of money. Gangster. Modjeska. Just a quick aside here about Modjeska. This stuff looks delicious and I've got no idea what it is. A quick Google tells me it's marshmallow dipped in caramel. First made in 1818, Louisville, Kentucky, funnily enough, by Anton Busath, named after a famous Shakespearean actor called Helena Modjeska. Anton was a confectionery simp. I love it. I love you, Project Zomboid. Lesley is going to devour those Modjeskas in Lady Helena's honour. Ah yes, the cheese sandwich in the medical section. Everyone knows all you need is a cheese sandwich and you'll feel right as rain. After a successful looting run to Gigamart, Lesley takes a stroll back to the RV with a bag full of yummy, non-perishable food. He also picks up a water jug on the way. When we get back to the RV, I realise that at some point Lesley has taken his underwear off. Again, I'm not really sure when that happened or why, but it appears Lesley is a pretty odd little dude. Lesley keeps taking his underwear off when I'm not looking. Lesley. He prepares a big black bean soup for lunch. But he's got a bit of a tiny stomach because if he eats too much he gets sick. All those beans, all that soup. I definitely do not want to be in the back of this RV with Lesley. Oops, just ate a rather large soup. Oh, he deserved it, okay? Rather than get himself into a muddle with zombies in the dark outside, Lesley takes the evening to chill out and read books until his bedtime. We're taking a very chill approach with Lesley because he doesn't want to die and I don't want him to die. Need some decorations in here, Lesley Stump. Your inside of the RV is looking a little worse for wear. It's not looking fantastic. Plenty of battery left. I was concerned because we've just been sitting in it, not driving for a while, that the battery would be down, but seems fine. On day 9, Lesley just drives the RV into the middle of town, ignoring all of that nonsense we were just talking about being careful. Something in the fog has got straight into his brain. As expected, things get a little hairy, a little scary. But have no fear, Lesley Stump's machete is here. He cleaves his way through quite a lot of the town, has a small stop at a restaurant. No thanks. Not worth it. Zombies are lining up for the toilet in a very unsettling manner, so he says no thank you, then almost gets overrun in the bookshop trying to get a bookcase for his RV. Okay, with the books looted and the town growing thicker with zombies, he does a quick loop-de-loop around the buildings, then hops into the RV. It's time to get the hell out of West Point, at least for now. Another sledge. Don't need it, but there's one there. It's quite nice to know that. Lesley and Rod drive out of town, through the fields riddled with zombies like haunting scarecrows in the crops, then pull up to the river, where Lesley will spend the next couple of days. He washes himself in the cold water, then he goes foraging, on the hunt for anything Mother Earth will place in his hands. Then he hears the thud, thud, thud of the helicopter approaching. Okay, that's the helicopter. Let's get back to the RV. Think we might be safe out here. Not really sure how many zombies are out here, so should, in theory, be okay. That's what I'm thinking. Seems peaceful enough. Can't see any zombies through the trees. I think Lesley here has been very lucky with his timing. In as much as there is no zombies anywhere near him. Whilst the helicopter circles overhead. What are you looking at, Mr. Helicopter? Huh? Just a man and his RV. You're not going to come and help? No? Just going to watch from a distance? This might be good. It might draw some zombies away from the town. Lesley sits and watches the helicopter overhead. A beacon of humanity. The last purring machine. And they are absolutely no help to him whatsoever. He calls out, waves his arms, but the helicopter does a final pass and then disappears. He forages and at last finds 2 tree branches, then heads back to the RV for another delicious soup, black bean and lentil this time. Quite the little chef you are, Lesley. You have a bowl, Lesley. Why aren't you using the bowl? Just drinking directly from the goddamn pot. He reads like a maniac and then settles down on top of the sledgehammer and his best friend Badger to sleep. Day 10 is a fishing day. He uses a spear all morning. With 0 fishing skills, it goes about as well as expected. Nope. We didn't catch anything. He fishes for another 4 hours. It's very peaceful and his arm doesn't hurt at all. Weirdly. A small trout. Our first catch, Les. Some delicious trout. He prepares trout soup with black beans for a late lunch. Lesley truly is living the life of a gourmand. Sneezed into his soup. He forages, he reads. Day 10 is a day of peace. Lesley is calm out by the river. Of course, life cannot go on this way. Not forever. The road calls to him. Lesley. On day 11, he spends the morning cutting down trees to improve his carpentry skills. He builds muscle and connects with nature. Then he washes all the nature off him in the river. He makes a stir fry in the oven, of course, collects some water to boil it off the stove, and then read books before bed. Day 11 passes in a blur. On day 12, he reads, he cooks, he fish. Lesley has achieved inner human peace. He is at one with nature and a completely useless fisherman. We didn't catch any fish. We didn't catch a single fish today, Lesley. Then, as if he could hear me talking about him, he gets the mother load of all fish all at once. They squirm around in the duffel bag. Oh, we caught lots more fish that time. Whoa, so many fish. Shoes and socks. Do we fish those out of the river? How sinister. Alright, this is zombie apocalypse. There's probably all bits of body floating down the river. Well, we might need them someday, so let's just stick them in there. With the morbid thought of floating body parts, he falls asleep on the evening of day 12. Right, today we're back on the road. So, for breakfast you're going to have some tortilla chips today. No fancy lunch for you today, Les. Just a packet of chips to begin with. Day 13, some might call it an unlucky day, but this is the day that Lesley drives the RV down back towards the town. He parks up near the dock, then heads into town towards the school. He just wants to take a little look at the library. The school is infested with students and teachers and other ghouls. But there are books in the library and Lesley takes them all. He returns to the RV after a successful day looting and sits on a new chair underneath some new posters and takes it all in. What a sweet few days. No massive risks, just comfort. Comfort and fish. The warm belly of the RV. Day 14 is the start of a new adventure to the north, across wild farmlands and abandoned spooky houses. He begins by saying hello to a couple of park rangers. Hello there. Wonder what you're doing out here. A torch at last. Then stops in a farmhouse for a very, very cold bath. But it's not as cold as the river, so he doesn't mind. Nice. He washes his hair and growing beard. He catches a reflection of himself in the mirror. The road has not been kind to him over these past 2 weeks, but on he soldiers. He puts up a new shelf in the RV, finds a beautiful new summer hat, and a deck chair that he'll take with him on the road, just in case he finds a beach or something. The rest of the day is spent reading in the back of the RV after some dinner, of course. The van feels more cozy now, and there is a lot more room for goodies. Just stuffing himself full with sweets now. The package is gone. Thank you for watching. Thus ends the second part of Lesley's 100-day adventure. Join me next time where we venture further north past the country park and find a place where Lesley will settle down for a little while so he can work on his mechanic skill. Thanks for watching. Much appreciated. See you later, eggs.